Howdy, folks. I might as well pour my soda and take my meds while I wait and see if anybody shows up. Venom, what's up? JJ, what's up? Bradley, been a minute. What's going on with you? Railroader, howdy. You're out in Tennessee. Well, I guess somebody needs to be in Tennessee. You might well be the one. And Gary, what's going on with you? I thought I'd have a few minutes to pour me some soda and take my meds, but Cutter, what's going on? Warwick. You're still subscribed to Patreon? Well, thank you, sir. This channel really don't get a lot of support. That's kind of disappointing. So to you people that are actually patrons and stuff, thank you very much. Jim Dunn. Well, Detroit's a place. I used to go up there once or twice a week when I hauled Ford parts. There and in Illinois and Ohio and shit, I'd pick up parts all over that neck of the woods. Yeah, I'm doing this on my phone tonight after the way that tablet did the other night. Okay, I guess that's that truck I heard. I couldn't tell if it was a train or a truck somewhere. But where I'm at, it's bouncing noise off these two buildings. Yeah, I'm down here in Fort Smith, yay. Jim Dunn, I tried to tell you the other night, but you bounce in and out so damn fast, you're probably gone now already. Tried to tell you, I tried to call Stormy, went right by y'all's place. She didn't, she had it set on not taking calls. I'll go by there again tomorrow, but I ain't gonna have time to stop. I got to rock. Well, you didn't give me none. Well, then you hand me out some money. Told Grandma. I don't remember if it was yesterday or today. Told her we are to go to Australia. Spend a few months over there. She's like, what in the world would you do in Australia? I said, same thing I do here, drive a damn truck. She said, what would I do when you're driving a truck? I said, ride with me and see Australia. I said, Warwick said he's got a bed for us. I've seen his house. He's got a nice house. He really don't live in one of them mud huts and stuff you see on TV. He lives in the city, though. That surprises me. I didn't have him figured for a city boy. And yes, Warwick, I know you and your mates could drink me under the table. I don't drink. But I might have a beer or two with you. Would damn sure get the barbecue fired up, make all your neighbors mad at us. We'll see if I can talk Grandma into it. Yeah, that's what I told her. And we appreciate it. Or I do. She probably thinks I'm crazy. Now we got to work on your brother. See if he'll lease a truck for a couple months for me to come drive with him. My son was telling me I needed to get in what, gold mines or some kind of mine you got down there in the, I guess that'd be the southwest, opposite corner that you're in. Bobby, what's up? Grandma would love you? Well, you're lucky. I don't think you're allowed too many guns over there. Grandma been known to shoot folks. So if she didn't love you, she might shoot you. She's a mean old Texas gal now. I'd hate for her to take one of your legs out and we'd have to rename you Hoppy. Clayton, what's up? Oh, been a rough day, but I'm trying to get over my grumpy. I had a case of the sore butt most of the day, but I'm trying to get past it. And no, I ain't going to tell you all about it and relive it and get me all mad again. It's called trucking. You got good days and bad days, and today sucked. But I do want to take this time to invite those that are not patrons to go over to the Patreon page. One of my ranches put up a link to the Patreon page and help support the page or help support the channel. It would be very nice. Couple bucks, $5 a month to help support the channel. If several of you do it, that goes a long ways. Myself and my son have put a lot of time in to bring this channel up to where it is today. I'd like for it to pay for itself. It gets very old, and there's some that already do it. Thank you to those that are already doing it. But it ain't paying for itself. With all the time I've put into it, that's very aggravating. It's very disappointing. I ain't gonna lie. That's been part of my issues the last couple of weeks. I got to make my bills balance out too. Everybody holler they like the channel and all that. Thank you very much. If you really like it, help support it. Oh. Ariel, what's up? I hope I pronounced that right. Area South? Bob, I just call you South. I can pronounce that. Oh, goodness. Carlos, what's up? Oh, I'll just tell them it'd be nice if they'd support the channel, make it pay for itself. Man, Little Joe's talking about we've got over 3 years invested in this channel, and I don't know what kind of hours, and y'all know I've been coming on for the last several months, damn near every night doing a live stream. And it's disappointing that people ain't supporting it better. I went ahead and threw it on out there. I know that's not popular with people. Ooh, he's soliciting. No, I'm just telling you, like channel, support the damn thing. It's that easy. No sugar added. Well, congratulations on the 100%. Now, which test did you take? And folks, there are other ways besides the Patreon. If you want them that don't want to put your information on a deal like that, or it's a reoccurring deal, there are other ways you can support the channel. You can go buy a t-shirt. Buy a t-shirt once or twice a year. That'd be nice. If you go to the About page and go to the bottom, there's a PayPal. If you want to just send $5 or $10, you can do it that way. So you don't have to go to the Patreon. That ain't the only way we have to support the channel. I'm just asking for your support. Yes, I did. Well, it's more my data than anything, Gary. I have about a $350 a month phone bill to have enough private data. And no, I'm not going to get on these public Walmart free Wi-Fi's and make myself vulnerable to hackers. I ain't doing that. So I got about $350 a month just in phone bill. And then if you take it where my old tablet went down, I just bought this tablet that ain't worth the crap. But right there was over $200, you know? So yeah, it cost me a little bit. And there's a few other things, you know how it is when you've got these gadgets and all this nonsense. And when, like I said, my boy was doing all them t-shirts because everybody wanted t-shirts. He was trying to get, well, he did get his master's, but at the time he was working on his master's, and he took time out of that to do the t-shirts, and it's been very disappointing on the t-shirt sales. So that and a little personal stuff been adding up the last couple of weeks. That's why I've been standoffish, been trying not to say anything about it. And I figured I might as well just get it off my chest, make me feel better. Ain't no need me bottling it up and feeling like crap and being angry and grumpy, and I might as well just throw it on out there. And if people get mad and leave the channel, so be it. Like I said, there's some that already support it. Thank you to those. The channel needs more. I ain't asking to get rich. I want to break even. I want the channel to pay for itself. And I don't think that's too much to ask. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say about it tonight, unless somebody asks a direct question. Howdy, George. What's going on, brother? He just put up a link to the t-shirts. What we did is some people had asked me for t-shirts quite a while back. And there's several little things that I say and whatnot. So they came up with different sayings, and my son went through and made the t-shirts. It took us a while to find a place to get them even halfway reasonably priced. I think with shipping and stuff, how much are they, Carlos? You bought them. $25 to $30 by the time they ship them to them, I think. Depends upon what size and all that you get. But they've got different little sayings and little pictures on them. Stuff that the subscribers asked for. So click on the link and you can get cups and shirts and all kinds of goodies. I don't know how many subscribers you got to have, Jose. I know I had been doing this a couple years when everybody started asking me to start doing the live stream. I'd never done a live stream before. And I started doing it. Started out once or twice a week, and now it seems like it's all the time. He put up a link for the t-shirts. Back up and go look at it. Or go to the About page. Go to the Facebook page. Carlos and Little Joe have got places up all over the place where you can go look at the merch. All right, George, take it easy. Well, it ain't that they're making it harder on anybody. It ain't no harder than when I did it. You just have to be patient and build up your subscriber count. It took me a long time to get that subscriber count up. No, Warwick, Little Joe had issues getting yours done where he could send it to you. I ain't sure what he had to do. You would have to get hold of him. But ain't no problem, mate. They do ship overseas. We done found that out. But it was a little pricey getting it over there too, so I'm not busting your chops by no means. If people are living in foreign countries, the Teespring thing is here in the States, and it's going to add 20 plus American dollars just to ship it to you. I don't want nobody to spend no 40 or 50, 60 bucks on t-shirts and stuff. So don't worry about it, mate. Oh, for Patreon? I really ain't got a clue, dude. I am. And Patreon was something else subscribers asked me to do so that they could help support the channel. I am totally ignorant on that stuff. You think you're bad? I ain't got a clue. Oh, you seen him topless? Carlos, you got a clue how that Patreon works? I think Little Joe set Patreon up, and he ain't on here tonight. And we thought Little Joe was done with his education when he got his master's here a couple months ago. Well, I'll be damned if the little fart ain't going for his PhD. He gonna be one of them doctorate types. To my knowledge, he'll be the first one in our family. It ain't 100% locked in, but it's over 80% locked in that he's gonna make it work. That'd be cool, but he's still got more schooling to do. And he's been doing it all on his own. Daddy couldn't afford to help him. Well, thank you, Elk. God bless you too, brother. He's been leading me on a different word for Sunday morning. You might find it interesting. I hope you join us at 9 a.m. Central Time Sunday mornings. Once again, it ain't the word I'd planned on sharing. He's put a different word on my heart to share Sunday morning. All right, Clayton, good night. God bless. Yeah, it's getting late. Told you been a bummer of a day, so yeah, I'm running real late. And didn't get nothing done on top of it. Austin, Texas. That's become the liberal capital of Texas. I didn't even eat any dinner. I don't even know if I will eat dinner tonight. It is what it is. Carlos, you get all them issues ironed out with your little company? Well, JJ, thank you. I mean, how big is my sleeper? It's a normal sleeper. It's a single bunk. That's much appreciated, JJ. Joshua, what's going on? My day sucked, brother. You know, good days in trucking. This wasn't one of them. You know the deal. You've been playing long enough. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. It's been one of them days where it's like, why in the world did I ever get into this? I can't say the whole week. The week started out good, but first thing this morning, it started going down that hole. A few hours ago, y'all wouldn't have liked seeing me. It was the bad side of Papa Joe. The people I was around didn't like seeing me. That's right. See, and I've said that in some of my little sermons that the whole universe works off of opposites. You got to have bad to appreciate the good. But we sure don't appreciate the bad when we're dealing with it so that we can appreciate the good. I did find out the owner's putting chicken lights on my new truck. But they're new LED chicken lights. It ain't like the cool ones we had back in the day. Those were about 6 inches long and stuff. Now these little bitty things, size of your little finger stuck out the side. Well, to find a company that pays by the hour, Tyler, I'd have to be close to the city. And I damn sure am not a city boy. And normally paying by the hour means that you're dealing with more folks. I can only play Mr. Happy so many hours a day. Then Mr. Grumpy comes out. But I'd always consider it. I don't see the kind of driving I like doing it to be feasible. I know I've been reading a few comments on some of the people that drive in Europe, and evidently it's common over there to drive by the hour, but also evidently it don't pay much more. It pays basically, from what I was catching on to, about the same as your factory workers. Yet they're out there getting the tickets and all that. I'm like, huh? Why in the world would you want to leave that factory to drive a truck to risk getting tickets and fines and all that? You know, where's the profit and reward for what's put into it? Now, reading one guy's comment, I think he was in Sweden. Don't quote me on that. The gig they had was they was a team and they would run it from point A to point B. Then they went to the motel, take their break in the motel, and some local driver would go deliver their stuff and pick up a load and bring it back to them. Then when their break was over, they got in it, team drove it back the other direction. Same thing on that end, evidently. If they didn't go home, I don't know. They might have had lived on that other end. I'm like, well, that's different. Well, thank you, Sal. I take that as a compliment. Oh, it's been like that for years, Michael. Which is one of the things that's very discouraging anymore. My uncles, and I had two or three of them, that retired from two or three different companies. You know, they'd put in 20 years here and retire. Then they'd go put in 20 years somewhere else and retire. Then they'd go put in several more years at another one. Not quite their whole 20, but when they were at 60, 62, they could retire and they had three pensions coming in plus Social Security. They was doing okay. You can't do that nowadays. Susan, howdy, howdy. Well, I reckon that's a good thing, Tinker. Yes, I am. I'm going to shut down Thursday and Friday of that week. How many of y'all are shutting down? How many truck drivers are actually going to shut down on the shutdown on April the 12th? I'm taking off April 11th and 12th. Carlos ain't going to shut down. She's OTR and local? Well, she's doing some hustle. Yeah, Michael, we know. We live it, brother. I had one of my subscribers contact me today. He had 2 hours left on his 14 when he got to the shipper. Said he notified them that he had just a couple hours left. He said they didn't care, and I said no, and they don't. And of course, they didn't have no parking. So we discussed it, and I told him my thoughts on it, and told him to contact his company and see what they directed him to do. And I haven't heard back from him. I got busy, and when I got done, I'm sure he was in the middle of his sleeping. So I'll attempt to talk to him tomorrow morning if I ain't too busy. And Carlos enjoyed our phone call the other night. We don't get to do that much anymore. I know, you live on the phone, right? In the car, you're on the phone. You get to the office, you're on the computer. I know people won't even get on a computer at home because they spend so much time on it at work. Okay. Your girlfriend wants to what, Josh? Yeah, let me reverse that. Maybe y'all can see what I'm looking at. I don't know if my... Yeah. Yeah, it ain't gonna let me put it over there evidently. Y'all might fall. There's what I'm looking at. Some kind of industrial park over there. And over here got a gas station. Pretty big one. And a car wash. And over here, that's Averitt, their warehouse. But that's all them cars that you keep hearing right there in front of us. That's going to be hard to cheat them electronic logs. I try to park at my customers. If I can't park at them, then I'll hit a mom and pops. If I happen to hit I don't go to most of the big name truck stops. We fuel at the Loves. And sometimes, like the other night, I'll go to pull in one to fuel, and if I see a parking spot that looks good, then I just snatch it up and park there. But most times I don't park at truck stops. I'm in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I don't hear nobody honking. That must be where you're at. $10 o'clock. You got 10 hours before they show up here to unload me. Manager will show up before that. He'll probably be between 7 and 7:30. So what y'all want to talk about now? Oh, it could have been. I heard somebody send a message or something. The phone buzzed at me. Oh, I'm a dry box. Oh, it's beautiful down here. It's in the 60s. When I shut it down, I think it was about 67. It's probably getting close to 60 now. Sitting here with the windows down. No kind of heat or AC on, just windows down. Old Diesel struggling with that tractor. You wouldn't know what to do with it in Wisconsin, man. All right, Joshua, enjoy your evening, brother. No, I didn't see that, Carlos. Back at you, Joshua. We love you, brother. So does the good Lord. Sunday morning, man. 9 o'clock Central Time. Oh, there's a lot of that. Someone can't park everywhere. That's why I don't park at the big mega truck stops. I hear you, Joshua. Oh, I doubt if they'll do anything to them if they catch them. Big Kev, what's up? Okay, Cutter, go ahead with it. Very seldom do I even turn the CB on anymore. Between me and Carlos, I bet you we can answer your clutch question. It's a two-stage clutch. You barely put any pressure on it to change gears. You don't mash it all the way down unless you had a complete stop. If you go pushing too deep on a clutch, then you're going to burn out the clutch brake on it, and it's going to be a pain in the butt to get it in gear even when you're stopped. Did any of that answer your question? Kenley, North Kakalaki. Well, somebody needs to be there. Might well be you. Pecan, what's up? Yep, I'm in Area 51. I'm watching for the spaceships. Maybe they'll get me out of the damn truck. Stone, what's up? That's true, Carlos. The less you use that clutch, the better off you are. So you need to learn how to float them. The way I was raised is a clutch is for starting and stopping. You never used it besides starting and stopping. Adam, what's going on with you? Oh, you used to hear that all the time, JJ. They never did stop. There's a lot of construction everywhere right now, Kev. It's getting to be construction season. We have two seasons here in the States: winter and construction. It's actually against the law, Cutter, to put a truck in neutral. Believe it or not, it is against the law. That ain't saying some of us don't do it, but just so that you know, that is against the law. Most of the time, I would have my foot by the clutch but not pushing it down, and I would just ease it into neutral and I would let it coast down right in my brake. But I had my foot by that clutch just in case. That being said, if you try that and your RPMs ain't right and all that, and you got to get it in gear, sometimes you got to get it in gear, which is hard on everything. But there's other people that will tell you that you downshift and you leave it in gear and you ride that brake with it in gear, as you've done downshifted quite a bit, you're in third, fourth, whatever, and you hold the brake, or ride the brake until you feel the truck shudder. And you'll know what that shudder is. It's exactly that. It just shudder the truck, vibrate the hell out of it. Then you hit your clutch. But never depress that clutch all the way down unless you are at a complete stop. It is a two-stage clutch. Barely touching it will work your gearbox. All the way down puts the brakes onto your flywheel, which if the truck's rolling, that flywheel's not going to stop and you'll burn out the clutch brakes, which is not a good thing. So I hope that answered it. See, now we always called them Schneider eggs. Well, let's see if Stone answered JJ's question. And that is correct on the double clutching. And that was correct on the floating. Good night, South. God bless. Yes, Cutter, especially with you being new to the shifting and all that. Yes, you really do need to learn to work your gears all the way down to the stop. Now, mind you, dude, you don't have to hit every gear as you're downshifting. If you're coming off of a ramp, you left the highway and you're on the ramp, you don't have to hit every gear. Say you got a 10 speed and you've done drop down to 8th gear, well, ride that clutch and you might drop down to 6th. Then you might hit 4th. You know, it's going to depend upon your speed and all that. But you don't have to hit every gear rolling down that hill coming to that stop. Ride that brake, slow the truck on down, and then skip a couple gears, at least one, until you learn your truck. You know, but don't try to you'll work yourself to death trying to downshift through every gear. But play with it a little bit. You'll catch on. Yeah, you don't want to try doing that in a pickup. Now, you can float gears in a pickup once you're rolling. Well, you can't say halfway in, Stone, because it's going to be a matter of how tight they have that clutch adjusted. All of them's going to be a little bit different. That goes back to where I say get to know your truck. Well, I said hello to you there, Thicon. Long time ago when you first came in. Well, good deal, Cutter. Now, what kind of truck are you driving? As in, I don't care if it's a Pete or a Freightliner. Are you driving a straight truck or are you driving a big truck, tractor, trailer setup? What kind of setup are you driving? Well, if you're doing 90,000, you're carrying some pretty good weight. You sure would like to see you take some driving courses, as in safety courses. Smith driving course and all that. It ain't where they're out driving with you and all that. It's watching some videos. It takes at 65 miles an hour, you're traveling approximately 1.5 foot a second, and it's going to take you, roughly speaking, a football field to stop that truck completely from 65 mile an hour. And that's pretty much getting on the brake hard. That ain't taking time to shift and all that. So, I hate to see you start with something that heavy and that dangerous. But it is what it is. You're a big boy. I know you're not a kid. I know you're got some experience behind you as an adult, so. Yeah, Carlos, where you're saying that you'll drive the truck more by feel than much anything else, that's true. The book Grapes of Wrath, Grapes of Wrath, they made a movie out of it too, but the book was killer. I used to read a lot, and that was one I'd read. Everybody thought it was boring and stuff, but it was a damn good book, good enough they made a movie out of it. Who was that? Henry Ford or Henry Fonda, I think, played in it. It's about the Depression. And they had took a car and made it into a pickup. They loaded all their stuff on it. I think they was out of Oklahoma type deal. And they headed for them streets of gold in California. And in the book, when he's taking off, he's talking about he's driving that car by feel. You know, the feel in his butt, feeling for vibrations, the feel in his feet, you know. It went on and on. So it goes right hand in hand with what Carlos was saying. And I do the same thing with this big truck. Once you get to know your truck, every once in a while you'll feel a different little something. And I'm like, all right, was that the road? Or do I have a tire coming apart? You know, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I drive mine by feel a lot. That's a good statement. Thanks for bringing it up there. Julio. Oh, I'm sorry. Carlos. Got a hopper trailer. Now, Cutter, do you know why Carlos is saying he prefers to be loaded? Yeah, JJ, I seen that. I got in a predicament in French Quarters myself when I was doing the rock and roll circuit. It's not fun. I didn't take nothing out. I liked it, that one old boy that, I don't know if he was the one videotaping or what, he said, damn, we came down here and this is a free show here. Guy got down there in French Quarters trying to make a turn. Well, that's a good thing, Cutter. Grapes of Wrath was a good book. Well, reason he was saying he preferred being loaded, Cutter, because as you've done experience, it stops a lot better. If you're at higher speeds and have to hit them brakes, that trailer can get bouncing, so can the rear end of your truck. It can get a bouncing and a hopping, and it makes it a pain to stop. If you got that load on there, it holds its feet on the ground. Oh yeah, mud's always fun. I can't believe it'd be in mud this time of year. It should be ice. Oh, it's been illegal to be in French Quarters in a big truck for a long time. Yeah. It amazes me, Cutter, how many people don't know how to use it. And they'll wait until they're stuck to try to engage it. Best thing to do when you're hitting that road and you see it's a bad road, go ahead and kick that sucker in, and you know already not to drive too fast, right? Well, your differentials in, you should not get over, say, 40 mile an hour at the most. And if you're on the road bad enough where you need them, you shouldn't be doing 40. A lot of drivers don't know it, that when they're out there and they got to throw chains and whatnot, kick them in. Even if you don't need chains and you're going up a mountain and it's getting close to that chain time, kick them in. If you're going slow, kick them in before you spin out. If you wait until you're spinning out and you go to kick them in, you can bust them off. It's just that's my terminology. But you can break it and it won't work. It don't want to engage. Keep your kingpin tight. Okay. If your kingpin ain't tight, you've got issues. Dude, I drove up in Canada for quite a while. They got some weather up there you wouldn't believe. And out in the country in Canada, to my experience, they didn't clean them roads until after the storm. We're down here in the States, you got the snow plows and stuff out before they even talk about it hitting. Up there, they don't worry about it until it's over with. Well, I've been up there and on some of them roads where you're not even sure if you're on the road anymore. That can get a little bit hairy. Yeah, Stone learned that off some of my videos, having kitty litter with him. He's blown a few people's mind when he's swapping trucks or getting back in and got to put his kitty litter in. It won't help you in the mud though, Cutter. New Orleans, Mark. Howdy. Don't recollect seeing you in here before. Welcome to the live stream. Well, there you go, Cutter. Sometimes that's best. Well, normally you try not to get in them predicaments, JJ. If you're driving a road like that 5 miles an hour on the ice and snow, you didn't pre-plan very well. Me, I'm a chicken. I try not to get in that shit. But it is trucking. They might have been delivering to a mine or whatever, and everything was kosher when they took off. There are times when that weather would change on you quick, fast, and in a hurry, and you ain't got nothing to do but go. Those times suck. That'll make days like my day today look like a good day. Oh yeah, Cutter, they gotta go for it. Exactly, Stone. Yeah, but trying to reuse that kitty litter, Carlos, is a trip. That's a crappy deal there. Oh, yeah. I used to be with the fire department when that was down in South Texas. When I was in Missouri and we had some bad floods, a friend of mine knew I'd been a volunteer, and he was driving by the house in a big truck, deuce and a half. He stopped by and asked me to ride along and help do rescues. And even that big old truck crossing a creek that was up out of banks, but it wasn't a river, you could still feel it pushing that big old deuce and a half. I mean, we got across, but it could have went the other way quick. No, super singles are not safe. and you're actually seeing less and less of them now. They came out several years ago, and the companies are figuring out that they are not safe and they are very much more expensive. The road cost is more on them. So no, actually the super singers are being phased out. I do slow. When the weather starts getting bad, whether it's rain, snow, or ice, I do slow. And I have them fly by me, and more than once, I've drove right on by them nice and slow while they're in the ditch. And no, I don't stop to offer to help. Don't even stop to see if they're okay. Stupid is as stupid does. If you fly by me like an idiot in bad weather and end up in the ditch, you're on your own. I don't care if people think that's right or not. I don't care. What's that, Stone, on super singles? They cannot make improvements on them super singles to fix their problems. Yep, you're correct, Cutter. You know, there's a story I tell. We used to run up there to, dadgummit, Fort something up there in Indiana. I want to say Fort Wayne. I ain't sure if that's right. It ain't in Indiana. I'd have to look it up. It's up there by the Great Lakes area. We used to run carpet up there, and we had one drop trailer that was left at this place we'd go to, and whoever got up there, they would get to drop their trailer and grab this empty and head back out. And I'm easing up through there in a bad snowstorm, and one of our trucks flew by me. It was back before cell phones. He didn't say nothing on the CB or nothing, just flew right by me. And it was obvious what he was doing. He wanted to get to that warehouse and get that empty trailer. The exit that we had to get off at was not a bad exit. It was real long and a little bit of a bind in it, a little bit banked. And I get up there, and here he is sitting out in the middle of the medium between that ramp and the service road over there. So he's off to the right. He was still on his wheels. I just kept easing on around that slick curve. Went on down to the warehouse, dropped my trailer, grabbed the empty trailer, went inside to the payphone, called the company, told them they had a truck in the ditch down there. They started chuckling. I knew what was up. They had told him I was in front of him, and they used to play us against each other like that. Oh, Papa Joe's on his way up. You gas on it, you might get around him and get that empty trailer. And that's what he did and ended up in the ditch. They're like, "Did you stop and check on him?" I said, "No." "Well, why not?" I said, "His truck was upright. It wasn't wrecked. He had only ran off the road. And I ain't going to stop and check on stupid. Stupid is what stupid does." So, his haste did not get him what he wanted. Yes, Wayne up there, Fort Wayne. I think that's what I'm talking about. And no, I don't think that's Illinois. Yep, you're exactly right, Cutter. Oh, in this day and age, Michael, that don't hardly happen at all. Now, I know one young owner-operator. He just a pup, but now he dodges them all the time just because he don't want to mess with them. I haven't seen his equipment. He claims he's got good equipment. He just don't like scales and DOT, so he does his best not to go around or go down the roads where they're at. But normally, in this day and age, very few dodge them. There's no need to. With the way stuff has changed the last few years, you're on the ELD. 99.99% of the time, you're legal on that ELD. I'm sure there's a few gone over on their hours, but for the most part, you're legal. With the 72-hour nonsense deals they've had and all this, we're all driving a lot better equipment, unless you're around the port of entries on any state. There you still got some pretty trashy trucks that makes you wonder why they're still on the road. But everybody's pretty much in compliance anymore. So there's no real reason not to cross the scale. As for getting DOT'd, that costs you time, but once again, you're pretty much legal, so it's only costing you time. So, and that ain't nothing but a raffle. When you get the lucky number, you get the lucky number, whether it's on the roadside or in the scale house. Oh, fixing to have to take me some Rolaids. Them tacos Carlos ate give me indigestion. Well, folks, it's after 10:30. We've been on here over an hour. Yeah, Stone, that is still kosher, turning your headlights off in there. That way you're not blinding them. Well, it ain't a matter how fast the truck goes, JJ. It's a matter of how fast the dispatcher's computer is. It ain't a matter of, well, yeah, it is a matter of the driver's managing their time, but it's more like the broker and dispatcher. They can't give you a 62-mile-an-hour truck and dispatch you at 70 mile an hour. They're giving you a 62-mile-an-hour truck, they need to dispatch you at 55 miles an hour. Then you have time to make it there. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good evening now. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. Appreciate y'all coming in. Not a problem, Cutter. I hope it helps you, somebody. Good deal. Remember to support the channel, everybody. By whatever means. Go buy a t-shirt. Go to Patreon, sign up. Go to a PayPal link. Throw some on there like JJ did on these live streams. Y'all need to support my channel for me. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.